Woody, you still there? Woody, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, wonderful. Looks like some people are starting to show up, but if you have a second, I just wanted to go over a couple things with you real quick.
I think I lost you.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay, here, let me show up again too. Great, okay.
What does my place?
Perfect.
We're good.
Great. Thanks again, Woody, for chairing the meeting today. Just a couple housekeeping things before we get started. I'm going to do roll call of all the folks that are in the meeting. So we've got a record of who all's here. And then when people speak, I'm going to ask them to state their name first, or if they make a motion to state their name first. And then this House Bill 704 has got so many nuances to it. I want to make sure I'm capturing them correctly. So the only really action item we have today is the minutes. And so once there's a first and a second, then we'll ask each person yay or nay.
Okay,
So
you call her name yay or nay, or have them to speak their own name, yay or nay.
I can do it. I'll just go through and just say whoever, yay or nay. And then, of course, the planning work program, the public hearing, we'll open it up. That's all we can do right now. I'll kind of go over it and explain to the group that I haven't received any public comments on it. And that will reconvene tomorrow at 3 o'clock to close it up and be done with it. So
Okay.
I anticipate this meeting going pretty quickly. The one this morning went really quickly. And then the one tomorrow at 3 o'clock should go even quicker.
Okay.
Last thing is that ethics statement.
Yeah.
You've got that handy?
Got it.
Awesome. And so after you call the meeting to order, just read that and then we'll start plowing through the agenda.
Okay, that was my question. That was a question I had. Do I read it before I call a meeting the order or after? But you answered that.
After, yep, that's right.
We're
David,
good.
can you hear me? David Graham, this is Rennie Brands.
Yes, Mayor, thank you so much for participating. I can hear you.
Can you see me?
Let's see, I cannot see you.
What do I need to do?
You need to
Click
like,
on
if
your
you,
video at the bottom of the screen.
bottom left-hand corner, Mayor.
Got it. There we go.
There it
Hey,
is. I see you.
David,
Yes.
this is
All right,
Pam.
I'm here now.
Great. Thank you, Mayor. We'll get started shortly.
Okay, great.
David, I was just wondering, I wonder, can we vote on the, I know we have to do public comment for the PWP.
Yep.
Could we, just in case there's not a quorum tomorrow, could we vote on it contingent upon if there were any comments received or not, that unless there are comments that are received before, tomorrow, it's okay?
Yeah, it seemed like I tried that thought and it did not go over very well. So I'm just gonna
Okay.
need hopefully this group to reconvene for about 10, 15 minutes
Yeah.
tomorrow to take care of it. But that's
Okay.
we're thinking the same way.
Okay.
Great. Thank you, Pam. All right, folks, sit tight. We should get started in about, looks like 7 minutes or so, 7 to 10 minutes. I'll be back. Thank you. Hello, John Reeves.
How you doing?
Doing good. This is David. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Dave.
Thanks for participating today.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm gonna
Great.
move, I'm gonna move just a little bit.
That's fine. Still got a few minutes and we're going to wait for a few more folks to show up.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, so sit tight. I'll be back.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Click it. Now they can hear you.
Hello, Mark. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, great. This is David. Good to see
Hey,
you.
David.
Just
Good
waiting
to
on a
be
few
here.
more, just waiting on a few more folks, get the quorum.
Sounds good.
I'll be back. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, folks, so it's 2 o'clock, giving you an update. Still need a couple more for a quorum. I see someone just called in with a phone number 284-6036. Who is that?
Hi, it's Denise Collier from Burnsville, North Carolina.
Great. Thank you, Denise, for making the meeting today.
Sure, thanks for having me. And how do I unmute? I mean, or how do I mute it?
Okay, there should be at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen a microphone. If you click on that, you can mute and unmute. Are you just on your phone?
I am, and I had to push pound or *6 to unmute. Do I do that again to mute it?
I would think so. That would make sense. But you seem to be doing fine the way it is. There's no feedback or anything.
Okay, can I try it real quick though, just to be sure?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna do it right now.
Thank you, Denise.
Okay, yep, I pressed the #6 and I'm muted, so I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay, thank you, Denise.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Hang tight, folks. I'm hoping that a couple more will show up and we'll have a quorum. We need 7 of you guys.
Can't you count some of us twice?
I wish I could.
About some of the significant others around?
Oh, how about that? That's a good idea.
Proxy.
I need 2 more folks to show up. I'm hopeful that we had some register, so I'm hopeful that they'll show up here.
David,
Call them and scold them.
this is Rennie.
Yes, Randy?
Okay, I just wanted to be sure. I'm checking my,
Yep, can hear you.
Okay.
All right, if y'all give me 1 minute, I'm going to see if I can reach out to a couple more folks and get them on the line here. Thanks for your patience. I appreciate it. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm in the process of trying to recruit 2 more folks. Again, thank you for your patience, and I'm hopeful to get them on the line here shortly. Give it another 5 minutes or so. If we don't have a quorum, we cannot have the meeting. So that's just the way the bylaws are written. But I know you folks are busy and I don't want to occupy your whole afternoon. So,
David, did you not send us an agenda packet in an email?
yes, sir, I did.
I thought you did. I was trying to find it.
Yeah, and I'm going to go through that today, Mark, hopefully if we can get a quorum. I'll go through that agenda item by item, so you'll be able to see it on the screen.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
Mark, this is Pam Cook. I just forwarded you the email with the agenda packet.
Thank you. I must have deleted that particular email because I can't find it anywhere. I've got it.
That's okay. See if you got it from me.
Yeah, I did just now. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Mark, where's you at last night?
Uh-oh, I missed the Board of Health meeting, didn't I?
You did. You rascal.
They always call and remind us of that, and I knew I went home and sat down and I thought there's something I'm supposed to be doing. I hate I missed that, Woody.
We had a good meeting, a lot of good information. Diane does a good job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they've got a lot on them right now.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Oh.
Enough for an agenda.
Anything significant go on at that last night, Woody? That stood out?
I passed the budget.
Okay.
That's pretty significant.
That is.
The rest of it's pretty much informational, a lot of questions about COVID,
Yeah.
a lot of good answers.
Okay, here's the latest update. I've got Angie's trying to reach out to some folks to get them on, to get us 7. If that's not successful, we'll have to just call the meeting. So if you guys could give me another maybe 3 minutes or so.
David,
No problem.
what will that do for our meeting tomorrow?
We won't be able to have it. Yeah, this is,
Is it not time sensitive?
yeah, this is time sensitive, all right. I mean, we have to be able to have a quorum to open the public hearing and all that stuff. And if we don't have the folks, then we can't proceed.
4 minutes. David, let's give it some more time.
Thank you, Ray. I appreciate that. I hope you guys are okay with that.
Yeah, we need to go ahead and get that done.
Thank you, John. Hang in there.
Thank you.
And this is Denise, and I'm fine to wait too for a while.
Thank you, Denise.
You know I'm good.
Hello, Robert, can you hear me? It looks like Robert's trying to get on.
He's doing sign language.
All right, we need one more. Angie's working on it. I can hear her.
David, as the host on the right side, when it lists participants, can you unmute any participant since you're the host? I'm not,
Let me see. Robert looks like he's good to go from what I can see.
oh, okay.
That's a good thought though, Pam. Hello, Robert, can you hear me?
Okay,
Is that Robert Johnson?
I'm afraid it is.
I can hear you. Fantastic.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you so much, Mayor, for making it. We're running into a hiccup right now. We need one more TAC member, and we're trying to track them down. So this group has been extremely patient this afternoon.
Well, I appreciate them being patient and waiting on me, but you might have to pat somebody on the back to clear the hiccups.
Okay, understood. If you could give me a few more minutes, see if we can get one more person on the line here.
My time is your time.
Thank you, Mayor.
Robert, this is John Reeves in West Jefferson.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Dale Baldwin told me to tell you hello.
Well, thank you, John. And when you see him, you tell him I wish him a wonderful life, the rest of his life, and hello from me to him. And I will try here when all this stuff clears up, get over there to see him.
Well, I've seen him a couple of times and he's doing really good.
That's great. That's wonderful. Good to hear. Any of you guys like groundhogs? I'm
About
on
a
my
third.
way to.
About a third
my-
grown.
Well, I'm on my way to my brother's house I've been trapping them. I have problems with them quite often, and they've got a hole under my deck out of the back door of my house or back deck. And so far, I think I've caught the last one. There was a mother and 4 siblings. And I trapped 3 of the little siblings, maybe 3 weeks or so ago. And then one day last week, I trapped the mother, and there was one of the siblings still running under the deck. And my old dog, he'll chase after it, and of course he can't get under there. And so I've been baiting the trap with apples, and I finally caught him today. I got the last one today. And I'm on my way to my brother's house to take him down on the river and put a bullet. No, actually, we ain't gonna do that. We're gonna turn his German Shepherd dog loose on it.
Terrible.
I tell you, those things are destructive.
Oh, they really can be.
I'm telling you right now, they'll tear a garden up. They'll dig holes in your pasture, in your cows and horses and whatever else, break a leg with it. I tell you, we've had an awful time with them down here in around here in town. And I think biggest reason for that is they have a habitat they can hide in. All the mountain terrain where they actually came from has been cut, timber's been cut out. Same thing applies to deer. And they don't have any, they've got a good habitat in the towns to live in, really is about what it amounts to. I've took care of them for a while. Somebody told me back in Grandpa and Grandma's days, they used to eat them things. I don't know what my grandma and grandpa ever did, but I don't think I could eat one.
Parboil it and bake it.
Parboil him and bake him. Yeah, I hear you. What, do you stick a sweet potato in his mouth or an apple?
Apple.
Well, you can have my part of it.
Mine too.
Gentlemen, how's everybody doing?
Good. Hope you are.
Doing fine, thank you.
Hey, Cully.
Hey, Rennie, how are you?
Good, good.
Cully, thank you so much for joining the meeting.
You're welcome, David.
We have a quorum.
Good deal.
Do you see me sweating bullets over here? Wow. Okay. Thank you all for your patience on getting this meeting started. We were just 23 minutes past when we were supposed to begin. I'm going to go ahead and dive right in if that's okay with everybody. And
Yep.
It seems to me like you all know how to mute yourself and unmute yourself. So that's one thing I was going to say. Right now, what I want to do, trying to follow the law here, is to do a roll call of everybody that's on the Zoom meeting today. So when I say your name, just say here and we'll go from there. Rennie Brantz,
Here.
Woody Young,
Here.
John Reeves,
Here.
Cully Tarleton,
Here.
Julie Wiggins.
Here, sorry.
It's okay. I knew you were here. Mark Ledford,
Here.
Mike Pettyjohn,
Here.
Pam Cook,
Here.
Rob Wise,
Here.
Robert Johnson,
Here.
Stephen Sparks,
Here.
Denise Collier.
Here.
Wonderful. Thank you all. Okay, and then when speaking during the meeting, just please state your name first so we can kind of keep track with everybody. And then when making a motion, like I think the only action item we have today is the minutes. So there'll be a first and a second. And then I have to do roll call for each member here. You can just say yay or nay after I call your name. Okay, so that's basically the housekeeping items for today. With that, I will turn the meeting over to our chairman, Woody Young.
Yes, this is Woody Young. I'd like to call our meeting to order. And I need to read our ethics awareness and conflict of interest reminder. In accordance with the State Government Ethics Act, it is the duty of every RTAC board member to avoid conflicts of interest. Does any RTAC board member have any known conflict of interest with respect to any matters coming before this RTAC board today? If so, please identify the conflict and refrain from any participation in the particular matter involved. I also would like to thank all of you for taking time out of your day in these unprecedented times to join our meeting, because these are trying times that we all are finding ourselves in. But I do appreciate all of you attending. And I'd especially like to thank David and the High Country Council of Government for what they're doing and the job that they're doing, because the work still has to go on.
That's
All
true.
right,
Thank you,
Dave,
Chair.
back to you.
Okay, Chairman. So now we've got item number 2. If you want to call for a motion of approval for the February 19th minutes.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of February 19th, 2020 RTAC meeting.
Excuse me,
This
Mr.
is
Chairman,
Rob.
this is Mark
Yep.
Ledford. I would like, these minutes need to be amended to add my name to that list of the February meeting.
Great. Thank you, Mark. We
And
will do that.
I'll make the motion to approve with my name added.
This is Robert Johnson. I'll second that.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Robert. Okay, so this is where I was talking about earlier, approval of the minutes. So for everyone else, let's see. Woody, do you approve the minutes?
Yay.
Yay, okay. And Rennie,
Yay.
John,
Yay.
Cully,
Yay.
trying to find my other, I think I got most everybody. Denise,
Yay.
okay. All right. Seems like I got everybody. Bear with me, I'm trying to get through the screen here. Okay, seems like I got all the TAC members' approval of the minutes, and I appreciate that. Okay, Chairman, we can move on to agenda item number 3. And here you're just going to be opening the public hearing. We cannot close it until tomorrow around 3 o'clock. And so once you open it, Chairman, I will go ahead and go through the particulars of the planning work program.
Do we not need a motion and have to vote to open it? Or can I just open it?
Make a
You
motion.
can, if you want to do a motion, that's probably a good idea. Let's go ahead and do that.
I'd entertain a motion to open a public hearing for FY 2021 planning work program.
This is Cully. I'll make a motion.
This is John. I second.
Okay. All in favor of the motion, and we'll just go through one at a time here. Woody,
Aye.
let's see here. Rennie,
Aye.
Mark,
Yeah,
Denise,
Aye.
think I got everybody there. Did I ask Robert? Or Robert, did you? Trying to think there. Okay, seems like we got everybody on that. So with that, there was no absentations or nays for opening the public hearing, so it's officially opened as of 2:30. So I'm going to go ahead and go through this. And before I do that, I want to let you know that the Transportation Coordinating Committee this morning recommended approval of this planning work program with no comments. Also, I have not received any public comments on it as of right now. I will let you all know at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Hopefully everyone here today can be on that meeting tomorrow. If there's any comments about it, and hopefully we can get it approved and buttoned up for the year. So with that, let me dive into the planning work program and give you the particulars. Okay, so under data collection and assessment, I've got $8,000 allocated for project mapping, E911 centerline database management for Wilkes and Watauga counties. I also have maintenance of socioeconomic data for all counties in our region, as well as staying compliant with Title VI requirements for the region. Under comprehensive transportation plan development, I've got $30,000 allocated for that process. And we are in the process of developing the Yancey County Comprehensive Transportation Plan. So it's a planning process that's going to take some time. Me and Pam Cook have been working with a local steering committee to get this process started. COVID-19 did give us a little hiccup there. We had to miss one meeting, but we've been doing meetings like this through Zoom with the steering committee to keep it moving forward. And Pam will talk more about that later when she has her update. Under prioritization, got $20,000 allocated for that, and that will cover solicitation of priority projects for this next round of scoring and ranking. Got development of the priority needs list, allocation of our local points, and updates to our methodology for prioritizing projects. Under program and project development, have $5,000 allocated for that. And that's simply just review and reporting the status of STIP projects to you all, as well as attending any STIP related meetings. Also have under there attending merger meetings and providing local input on projects. Below that, we've got $14,700 for me to attend North Carolina Association of Rural Planning Organization quarterly meetings, as well as my participation in the Administrative Documents Committee and the NCDOT Resiliency Plan. All right, moving along. Under administrative activities, I've got $20,061 allocated there, and that will cover preparation and approval of the planning work program, basically what we're working on now, and any necessary amendments that happen throughout the year, as well as prepare and submit the quarterly reports and invoices to DOT so we can be reimbursed. Also under that, we've got the facilitate high country RPO meetings. It's what I'm doing right now. It's technically become a little more challenging than it has in the past, but hey, maybe this is the new normal. As well as keeping up with memberships of the RTCC and the RTAC. And we cannot forget the RTAC ethics requirements that where y'all have to file your statement of economic interest forms and real estate disclosure forms. So a lot of that, believe it or not, takes a lot of time to coordinate. And I appreciate y'all taking care of all that paperwork as you do every year. Under that, we've got provide transportation information data and coordinate with NCDOT staff regarding inquiries from local citizens, public officials, as well as you all, TAC and TCC members. And so those are the indirect costs. Let's move on to direct costs. So I've got basically $100 just set aside for regular costs of operation of the RPO program, copying, doing things of that nature. Also have $100 for meeting notices that we send throughout the region. Most all of our media outlets are very good about not charging us and putting it under public service announcements. And so that's why there was not too much there, because we've got a good system working as it is. Under lodging, meals, and incidentals, got the cost for overnight stays for those NCARPO quarterly meetings that I attend throughout the year, as well as other meetings and trainings that I may attend. Also have meal costs that are associated with those overnight stays, and any parking or tips and things of that nature. Have got $50 allocated for mailing of materials. Most everything's done online, so don't really need to put too much there. Under registration and training, got $250 there. I typically have to pay some kind of registration for some kind of workshop or training that I attend. And then under travel, mileage reimbursement, I've got $3,200 for that at 0.575 per mile. That seems to be decent. Although my mileage has dropped a little bit, I hope that I'll be back in the car driving around the region again. I really miss doing that. And then at the very end, the indirect costs, which is basically the leftovers to pay utilities, phone bills, rent, mortgage, whatever. I got $56,702 for a grand total of $159,563, and that's basically been the same number that we've been working with for the past 3 years or so. Just wanted to let y'all be aware of that. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you got. But like I said at the beginning, we can't really take any action until tomorrow at 3 o'clock on this particular item. But again, I have not received any public comments as of yet regarding this particular item. So be happy to entertain any questions that you may have. If not, we can move on to the next agenda item.
Moving along.
Okay, very good. All right, so let me go back to the agenda. And so we are right here. So under informational items, the project development update, I will go ahead and go through that. Let me get my cheat notes here. All right, got them handy. So the big spreadsheet. Okay. All right. So here's the June 2020 project update, and it's based on the May 2020 North Carolina Board of Transportation amended 2020-2029 STIP. The first I'll point out is the section E on R2915 right here. Construction is scheduled for 2020 on that. So I believe there was a little bit of a pushback for that project. Mike Pettyjohn will be able to clear that up shortly when he talks. Let's move on to page 2. All right, on page 2, R2566B. I've got right of way. I believe that was pushed back a little bit to 2021. So I wanted you all to be aware of that. That's the 105 project that is one of the key bottlenecks in our region, and as well as the bridge there at on 105. So I know everybody will be excited when that bottleneck gets fixed, including myself. So that's all I had on page 2. Let me move on to page 3. And let's see, that was the R2603 project. The estimated completion date was 5/12/20. Mike Pettyjohn talked earlier that is still taking a little bit more time than the estimated completion date that I have, and he'll speak to that later when his update comes up. And let's see here. There wasn't much on page 4. Let's see here. Oh, on page 4, I'd probably point out here that the Middle Fork Greenway Section 1, from Blowing Rock along 321 to the Blue Ridge Parkway, right away 2021 and construction 2022 for that project. I believe that there was a little bit of a shift in the scheduling for that one, so I wanted to bring that to your attention. And then there was nothing under aviation, just about everything stayed the same, which is good news. And so that's the project update for this meeting. Any questions that you may have on that? Okay, I'm going to go back to the agenda. We'll just kind of leave that up so we can finish the meeting out here. Okay, Chairman, I didn't hear any questions about the project update, so we can move on to informational items, specifically item number 5.
Okay, report from our divisional engineers, Division 11 and Division 13.
This is Mike Pettyjohn. David asked me to talk a little bit about our financial situation. So just to give you a little bit of a heads up where we're at. Of course, about 18 months ago, our finances, our cash flow issues kind of got pretty tight anyway. And that was due primarily to hurricanes and severe storms that we had that overwhelmed our cash. Historically, we have reserved about $50 million per year for those type things. And that comes out of our maintenance and operations budget. And historically, that had been sufficient, but starting back in about 2016 with Hurricane Matthew, it really overwhelmed it because our costs became so much more. Even with some federal reimbursement for those storms, we had to pay the cash up front. And of course, now our cash situation has been impacted greatly again by the pandemic, starting in March with across the country, the stay-at-home orders, traffic dropped considerably, which that's what generates most of our revenue is through the gas tax and user fees. So we're projecting a $300 million shortfall just from March to July. And probably in 2021 fiscal year, we're looking at probably at $700 million, give or take, a shortfall right now. So due to that, most of our projects have been delayed. The work has been suspended. That is, projects not lit yet. The active STIP projects, they're still continuing. But you also probably have seen a reduce in amount of maintenance that we're able to do because that's directly impacting us. In fact, we only started mowing along the roads at the 1st of June, and that was statewide, not just in the Division 11. We do have resurfacing continuing that we'd already led. So our program has been cut back due to our cash issues at this time. To address a couple of the projects that David mentioned, the E section of 221, that was led earlier this year with availability in July. And we're really getting ready to do our pre-construction conference and assume that the contractor will start sometime in July on that. And as far as the project in North Wilkesboro, it should be finishing up now. Unfortunately, the progress has not been what we desired. We're hoping that they'll finish by the end of the year. They have given us a plan for that, the contractor has, but like I said, we've not really been pleased with our progress up to this point. Now, I'll be glad to answer any questions, and I don't know if Cully has anything to add or not.
I really don't, David and Mike. Mike did a good job of sort of laying out the issue. DOT is a receipt-funded department within the state, and those receipts come from the sale of gasoline principally. And we're hopeful that as we begin to open up a little more, that people will do more driving, which will result in more gasoline tax, which could ease some. But as Mike pointed out, with a $300 million shortfall forecasted by the end of this fiscal year, and then a $700 million shortfall forecasted for the next fiscal year, we're looking at almost $1 billion shortfall. Well, it is a $1 billion shortfall. And so that's what we're facing. I think it is important for everyone to know and realize that the secretary and the chief operating officer are in constant contact with the legislature, with the committee chairs of both the state, both the House and the Senate Transportation Committees. The Senate Transportation Committee put out a bill yesterday that contains a lot of things, including some funding. But it also includes some things that I doubt the governor is going to be pleased with. And so I don't know what the end result will be. Of course, when a bill is introduced, it is assigned to a committee, it goes to a committee, it gets vetted through the committee, amendments are offered, changes are made, and it's either voted up or down in committee, and if it's voted favorably out of committee, it comes to the floor. But this bill is a long way from making it to the floor, so we'll just have to wait and see. But in the meantime, it is what it is, and we'll get through it and survive and come out on the other side.
Great. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Cully, for that input and that update. That's good information.
David, on that same note to the engineers, I would like to personally thank them for some ditch line clean out work that was done in Mitchell County, which was creating quite a problem, and the speed in which they got to it. I greatly appreciate it. And I know that the property owners around the area do. I just want them to know that it's appreciated, and their transportation team in Mitchell County did a wonderful job.
Good. Thank you, Chairman. Was there an update for Division 13?
Yes, I will give the update for Division 13. It's a lot like Division 11. There's the pandemic, and of course the emergency responses we've had to do over the years has really cut into the transportation budget. But I've got several construction updates in Mitchell and Yancey County. There's a design build project in Mitchell and Buncombe. There's 3 bridges in Buncombe, but only 1 in Mitchell, and it is on Beans Creek Road. It's currently under construction, and there's an on-site detour. The substructure is complete, and the cord slabs are expected to be delivered June 25th, and a late July or early August completion is expected. The bridge on NC 226 over Buladine is another bridge project. The temporary bridge is in place, but the existing bridge hasn't been removed, but the project is currently on an indefinite hold due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Mitchell resurfacing for 2019, only Kona Road and NC 197 remain, so I imagine they'll be paved here shortly. 2020 resurfacing, there's no work until 2021. The contractor won't pursue any of that work until next year sometime. The big one, R2519B, which is US 19, that's currently under construction in Yancey and Mitchell counties. They are paving the final layer of asphalt on the road, and it will take several weeks to complete, but the project is scheduled to be completed by this September. In Yancey County, there's several bridges that are under construction. One is on Bald Mountain, and the other is over Roaring Fork Creek. These bridges should be completed in the next 3 or so months. Yancey County resurfacing is like for 2020 is like Mitchell County. They are not going to pursue any work until next year. There is a pavement preservation, which is the asphalt seals. They're finishing up in Madison, and they'll begin work here in Yancey shortly. And we expect the work to be done over the next in 3 months. And there is a curb ramps for Bunker Madison and Yancey. And this project is on hold due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And that concludes all the construction updates. If anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Thanks for the updates, Stefan. Okay, Chairman, looks like item number 6.
Ms. Pam Cook, Transportation Planning Division.
Okay, David will send out the newsletter to you after the meeting, but I'll just touch on what's in it so you'll know if you want to read it or not. There's a traffic forecast for Boone Trail Road modernization in Wilkes County, and that's been paused. David's already mentioned that the Yancey County CTP is proceeding via online right now. NC Moves 2050. I encourage you to look at the link. There's summaries of all the past surveys that have been done for that. It's a little bit on pause right now, just with a new secretary and him wanting to get familiar with it. But please check out the website. Let's see, on the second page would be, there is a link for greenways. If you have any thoughts on any greenways, not just in your area, but anywhere in the state is currently doing a survey, gathering that information. Please take that survey and put down your thoughts. And then I put in there the NC Division of Motor Vehicle Services impact with COVID-19 and extensions and all. And that's for your information and your friends' information. So that's just in there for you. And then there's 2 pages of summary for the US 321 Strategic Transportation Corridor survey that was put out. The results are summarized. They've got it broken down so you can check the study of the 321 between Hickory and Boone and see what people put in. There weren't a lot of people that put any information in on that section, but there was some, and you can find the summary there. That's it.
Thank you. I guess we're ready to move along now to other items.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you, Chairman.
Any committee member have comments or other business?
I'd like to put in a plug, Chairman, if I could, if no one else has anything. I'd love to have this whole group back tomorrow at 3 o'clock, if at all possible. So hopefully you guys can put that on your calendar after this, and because we just barely got a quorum, and I'm hopeful I won't have to run around like a chicken with its head cut off tomorrow too. That's all I got.
You're just needing people for just like 10 minutes, right?
10 minutes max, yes. We just need to close the public hearing and a motion of approval for the planning work program. That's all we got to do. I'll leave it at that. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, do we have any public comments?
Chairman, there are no public comments that I have received, and I just wanted to mention that for the group's benefit. Again,
as chairman, I'd like to thank each of you for participating today. I know this is unprecedented, but as David said, we do for sure need your participation tomorrow. He says just take a few minutes. So if you will, take 10 minutes out of your day tomorrow and fulfill your obligation to this committee.
Thank you, Chairman.
I'd entertain a motion of adjournment.
So move, Mr. Chairman. This is Robert Johnson.
Alan Reeves, second.
Great. We'll stay consistent with going through the group here on these motions. This is what this House bill is requiring us to do. So Woody, yay or
Woody.
nay?
Woody Young votes aye.
Okay. Let's see, Rennie,
Aye.
Mark,
Yeah,
Cully,
Yes.
and Denise.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, hopefully.
So long.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks.
Okay, bye. Thanks again for your
See you
patience. y'all.
tomorrow, David.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
David,
Yes.
this is Brenda Lyerly. I'm
Hey.
sorry, I screwed up. I thought it was at 3 like tomorrow's meeting. So since I didn't make this one, do I need to go to the next one?
Yeah, the more the merrier is kind of how I feel on that. So if you
Did
can
you
make
have-
it in
Did you
case
have a
someone else
quorum?
go. Yes, ma'am. I just barely had a quorum today.
Well, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I understand you all are busy. Luckily, I had a patient group this afternoon and they waited till I got enough folks.
Okay,
But yeah, I would love to have you on there just in case I run into that again.
okay. So sorry. I apologize.
That's okay. Thank you very much, Mayor.
Bye-bye.
Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
David,
Yes, Woody.
it's Woody. An agenda for tomorrow?
Yeah, it's going to be the same agenda.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's listed on there. You'll see at the top, June 17th, which was today, and then tomorrow's the June 18th meeting. And so it's the same agenda, just one quick action, and that it'll be over.
All right, sir.
Thank you, Chairman.
Sounds good.
Okay, y'all have a good evening.
Thank you. You as well.
Okay, bye-bye.